It's officially that time of year again, my favorite time of year, when family and friends have time off to get together or even travel to visit their loved ones. It's a season of big holiday meals, gift giving, as well as many family and company parties. Everyone enjoys this time of year, no matter who you are or what your beliefs. However, the name of this entire season has become associated with the observance of one religion in particular, and already this year, the war on Christmas has begun. In the Roman Catholic tradition, Christ's Mass is a special Holy Communion performed in celebration of the birth of Christ. However, does this mean Christians have a monopoly on the holiday season? Are Jews, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, and people of other faiths not supposed to celebrate Christmas? And would it be hypocritical of atheists and agnostics to engage in the celebrations of a religion they find to be morally objectionable? Some atheists seem to think so.
For these people who believe in zombie Christ rising from the dead, these people who believe in this crazy virgin birth shit, people who believe in talking snakes and the scriptures are now calling someone crazy because they believe this shit enough they simply won't let their children dress up as demonic figures on Halloween and show disrespect for the religion that is the predominant religion there. Of course, Christmas comes around, and then we're the nutbags. We're the ones not letting our children do anything holiday-like. You know, we celebrate the New Year's, but we don't celebrate Hanukkah or Christmas or even the holiday around it.
I find Penn's statement to be somewhat disheartening, that he would deprive his children of this wonderful holiday purely on the basis of the religious undertones the holiday conveys. However, being an atheist myself, I personally do not see a problem with celebrating Christmas. In fact, I openly embrace it, and I hope other non-believers will share my point of view once we gain a better understanding of this holiday's true origin. There is obviously two competing types of imagery associated with Christmas. That of the Nativity with Jesus in the manger, surrounded by his mother and the three wise men, in contrast to wreaths, bells, Yule log, candles, Santa Claus, and even the Christmas tree. As a child, I was always intrigued by the ritual of decorating the Christmas tree and what the tree itself stood for. My parents explained the Christmas tree was a tradition left over from earlier pagan cultures before they were absorbed into the Christian faith. But at the time, I had no idea how much of the Christmas holiday was of pagan origin, where in fact, the entire holiday is of pagan origin. And interestingly, similar pagan imagery accompanies the next major Christian holiday as well. Easter, which is celebrated in remembrance of Jesus Christ's death and resurrection, encourages children to go on the hunt for Easter eggs that are supposedly hidden by the Easter bunny. Eggs and rabbits are ancient symbols associated with the pagan understanding of fertility, which celebrates the Earth's rejuvenation during the spring equinox. The term equinox refers to the time of year when day and night are equal in length. Equinox means equal night. As the Earth's equator enters the same plane as the center of the sun, days in the northern hemisphere become longer, providing abundant sunlight for vegetation to grow and in turn for animals to find and store energy, thus making it the optimal time of year to reproduce. However, just as Christ's resurrection falls on the spring equinox, the celebration of his birth coincides with the winter solstice, the time of year when the Earth is tilted on its axis away from the sun, causing the southern hemisphere to experience the longer, hotter days of summer and the northern hemisphere to experience the shorter, colder days of winter. From the perspective of the northern hemisphere, as the planet tilts backward on its axis, the sun appears to be progressively moving further south. That is, until December 22nd, when the Earth reaches its maximum angular range. From December 22nd to the 25th, the Earth holds this position, and then it begins to once again tilt forward, commencing the 6-month journey toward the summer solstice. The 3-day period at the end of the Earth's maximum range of tilt is marked by the sun's appearance of being in a fixed position in the sky. Thus, the term solstice comes from the Latin word meaning sun stands still. As the superstitious pagans observed the sun gradually moving south and the days growing shorter and colder, They believed the sun was departing forever. Therefore, to encourage the sun's return north, the sun gods were worshipped with elaborate rituals and ceremonies, which included the building of great bonfires, as well as decorating evergreen plants such as holly, ivy, and mistletoe. As the winter solstice approached, the sun's movement southward slowed down until it appeared to stop in the sky. Believing the sun god had responded to their prayers and ceremonies, there was a period of unrestrained rejoicing, drinking, and gluttonous feasting as the pagans observed the sun to once again move northward, and a week or so later they were able to determine that the days were indeed growing longer. Thus, a new year had begun. During the early 4th century CE, the Roman Emperor Constantine adopted the Christian religion. Constantine was a brilliant military strategist that expanded his empire across the Mediterranean, establishing the new imperial residence of Constantinople in what today is Istanbul, Turkey. As the emperor seized territory throughout the region, he had the foresight to recognize the Christian religion could be used as a tool to unite an empire spread across many different nations that contained subjects adhering to a variety of customs and beliefs. Therefore, a concerted effort was made to incorporate pagan traditions within the Christian faith by reclassifying pagan holidays as Christian holy days. In the year 321 CE, Constantine instructed that Christians and non-Christians should be united in observing the Venerable Day of the Sun in reference to Sol Invictus, the official sun god of the latter Roman Empire. Therefore, Jesus Christ was presented as the Sun of Righteousness, thus replacing the Roman sun god. But for you who revere my name, the Sun of Righteousness will rise with healing in its rays, and you will go out and frolic like well-fed calves. However, many centuries before anyone even heard the name Jesus Christ, December 25th was the birthday of the gods, the time of year when the days began to lengthen and man was blessed with the regeneration of nature. In the ancient Babylonian world, festivals were held on December 25th to commemorate the victory of the sun. December 25th was also an important day for the worshippers of Mithras, originally the Persian god of light, whose cult became popular throughout the Roman world in the 1st century BC. Even in the ancient Roman Empire, the celebration of the winter solstice can be traced back to the Roman festival Saturnalia, which honored Saturn, the god of harvest. In order to make Christianity more palatable to the nations conquered by Rome, the Church simply reinterpreted the pagan symbols, customs, and traditions of Saturnalia into a version more compatible with Christianity. In fact, December 25th was officially recognized as the true date of the Nativity by Pope Julius I, who claimed to have found the date in a census document that was brought to Rome by Titus in the 1st century CE. Therefore, the festival of Saturnalia and the birthday of Mithras could be conveniently celebrated alongside the Nativity of Christ. The pagans flocked to the Catholic places of worship, for they were still able to acknowledge their deities, but only under the guise of different names. But it did not matter to the subjects of the Roman Empire whether they worshipped their gods under the names of the Virgin Isis and her godchild Horus, or under their new names of the Virgin Mary and the Christ child Jesus. In addition to manipulating the imagery of the Nativity, the Roman Catholic Church sought to incorporate other pagan symbols into the Christmas celebration, which have been carried down throughout the centuries until present day. The early pagans idolized evergreen plants because of their ability to remain green throughout the winter season when most other forms of vegetation are dormant. Thus, the evergreen is a symbol of immortality, fertility, and sexual potency, which are often brought into the home and set up as idols. Wreaths are also made of evergreens. However, their round shape symbolizes the sun. Hence, the round wreath stands for an eternal, self-renewing sun. Because pagan symbolism was so closely associated with evergreen plants, the early Christian church initially tried to prevent their display. However, just as it Christianized other pagan traditions, the church eventually found a way to project its own symbolic meanings on the use of evergreens. For example, the sharp pointed leaves of holly came to represent Christ's crown of thorns, and the red berries, his blood. There are many Christmas customs that have their origins in pagan traditions being practiced long before anyone had even heard the name Jesus Christ, such as the eating of Christmas ham, the hanging of stockings, kissing under the mistletoe, giving of gifts, burning of the Yule log, and the lighting of candles. Therefore, Christmas Day and the imagery that surrounds it are nothing more than the poorly disguised pagan festival of Saturnalia, celebrating the winter solstice.
Held on the eve of St. Nicholas Day in honor of good old Santa Claus, the Klausjagen has made this town internationally famous.
This is a very old custom. The meaning in the Middle Age was that the people made a lot of noise because they hoped in the next year they will have better apples, better fruits. They had a lot of fear because of the darkness in the winter time.
The Klausjagen's main event is a huge parade of bullwhippers, hornblowers, and bellringers making a deafening racket to chase away the evils of winter. Huge bishop hats called ephels are worn by the villagers and are the main attraction of the parade. Only a handful of craftsmen make these ephels, which can reach up to 6 feet in height.
Before the winter camps, the people took lanterns, and with them they go out to the fields and they want to chase away the bad ghosts of winter. Around the year 500, when the Christians came, they want first to forbid the whole custom because it was pagan custom. They make a Christian custom, so they put into this costume the St. Nicholas and bishop hats that fulfill the same function. And so we do have still the lights of the lanterns, but now it's a Christian symbol, and if you really want to see if it's well done, you have to put off the light, and then it looks like that.
St. Nicholas follows, surrounded by torches, bringing a solemn end to a year of great festivals.
The relabeling of customs and traditions in the effort to assimilate new nations within an empire was a common military tactic. In the ancient world, warfare did not merely stop at the battlefield, but continued to rage on for the control of the beliefs and customs of the conquered peoples as well. As the Holy Roman Empire sought domination over the peoples of Europe, they stole the celebrations of major solar events and relabeled them as Christian holy days, which is perfectly exemplified in the celebration of Easter Sunday. According to Christian belief, Jesus was crucified on Good Friday and resurrected on Easter Sunday. However, Christians fail to celebrate this event on the same day every year, as Easter varies between March 22nd and April 25th. But if Christ died on one particular day and then rose from the dead 2 days later, why should this event be celebrated on different dates every year? It is painfully obvious that Christians have stolen this day from the pagans who were celebrating the spring equinox. But if the truth of Christ was so compelling, then why was it necessary to spread this message by the sword and to eradicate the traditions of the people the sword conquered? To any Christians watching this video, it has not been my goal to put down your beliefs or to ruin your holiday season. However, I would like you to be mindful of the spiritual fraud your Christian ancestors perpetrated in the effort to eradicate and or assimilate the traditions of non-Christian peoples. The quote-unquote war on Christmas is not an attempt to denigrate your beliefs, but rather to bring greater awareness of the true holiday Christians are actually celebrating. To any non-Christians watching this video, I would like to urge you to proudly celebrate Christmas and Easter, and do not deprive your children of these very special holidays. Just because Christians have slapped their name on the season does not give them the deed of ownership. The solstice and equinox belong to the earth and all its inhabitants, for these events have existed billions of years before human beings ever walked the planet, and they were celebrated hundreds, even thousands of years before the name of Jesus Christ was ever spoken. Honor the traditions of your sun-worshipping ancestors, and merrily chuckle at the Christians that continue to persist under the guise of baptized paganism. I hope everyone has a safe and happy holiday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.